Hey, another quick episode of TJ's Garage. Neat little fabrication thing we did here. I'm working on a 2006 Suzuki Burgman, and apparently the owner dropped it. And we look down at the stock cover for the muffler. It sat on here like this, and clearly it's pretty ugly because they smashed it, and it ended up melting. So I went out to one of the local hardware stores. They got me a plate, 12 inches by 24 piece of diamond plate. It's aluminum. And I decided to make my own cover for it, which looks pretty darn cool compared to the other one. Okay, just a quick show you how we did this real quick. Since it is aluminum, I started out trying to find the approximate something with the same circumference to start my bend. This is pretty pliable because it's aluminum. So if you look over here, I just happen to have a welding tank. So I started tapping it around the welding tank to get the initial curvature of the aluminum. Okay. Then I went over here and I found a weight in my basement. It's a 4-pound weight. It just happened to be the same diameter as the muffler. So what I did was I placed it on here and I just drew it back towards me as I pounded it out to the same diameter all the way down the muffler cover, and this is what I ended up with. All right, I got all my measurements for the holes by measuring the diameter and the distance between the holes on the muffler. A lot of people will take a tape measure and try to measure a curvature, and it really is a pain in the butt because you're using an aluminum tape to measure a curvature. So what I did was I have one of these, basically it's a tape measure from a fabric store for sewing. And it's pretty convenient. I know that sounds kind of weird, but if you're measuring a curvature, if you look down here, you're going to get a really precise measurement because the tape, contours to the curvature of your muffler. So I measured out the center holes for the grommets, okay? And these are the old bolts, but because the shaft has a spacer on it, once I put this on with the existing bolts, it's still rattled because it created that gap between the grommet and the muffler. So I just got some 10mm screws or bolts so the rubber will sit snug against the stock holes. Put it on here, tighten it up, and there you have it. Once you tighten them up, it's really snug. Take your other one, holes will line up, tighten it up. It's your 10mm. There you go. Basically, you got a pretty cool looking custom muffler cover to replace the old one. The old one online is probably going to cost you close to $100, and it's plastic. So for about 25 bucks, I got creative with a piece of aluminum diamond plate and made me a pretty cool cover. And once we put it on, it's going to look pretty neat. That's about it. Just another little video to make about something crazy that happens during the day, stuff I work on. I'll just keep posting them as I go along. You never know what you're going to have from day to day. This is my second or third video today, but stuff keeps coming up, and as I go along, getting creative and building and creating, this is the kind of stuff I post, give you guys ideas of how to make stuff like this with your curvature and think outside the box with the weights and the rubber mallets and the drilling and the measuring. But yeah, it's like a ribbon tape. Something like this is perfect if you're doing fabrication, especially on curved surfaces. Something to think about. All right, that's about it. Thanks.